Welcome to this tutorial video on using Kaltura Capture. We all know that videos are an engaging method for learning, and what it makes it engaging is you, right? The instructor. Now, of course, the right technology helps, which is what this tutorial is going to be all about. So if the thought of a talking head bores you, it probably bores your students as well, and this is where Kaltura Capture really shines. It's able to take the energy and the enthusiasm that you have in the classroom and pairing that up with what it is that you want to show students, whether you want to narrate a PowerPoint or draw out a complicated chemistry problem step by step. Kaltura gives you the option to record multi-sources at once, meaning your webcam, your microphone, and your screen at the same time. And what's great is that allows students the option to view both of these sources at once, creating a truly engaging learning experience for the student. So what I'd like to do is jump right into Blackboard so that you can see what it looks like from the student side. So I've created some different videos using some of the different platforms with Kaltura. We've talked about Kaltura Express in the past, and Kaltura Express Capture is just the webcam, but again, we talked about a talking head can get boring after a while, so the next step is to add another source, in this case the screen. So what I'm going to do is kind of show you what this looks like from the students so that you can see that next level of engagement. Alright, so for the purpose, I'm going to turn off my microphone so I don't get some echo. Come on, computer. Okay, so right off the bat, you'll see here are the two different inputs. I have my webcam that I was recording, and I also have here is my PowerPoint presentation that I have loaded. Now let's make this full screen so that you can see a little bit better. Whoops. All right. So here is my PowerPoint screen, and as I play along, now I'm talking, and here's my PowerPoint in the background. And as this is moving, I as a student, I can move my instructor's head anywhere on the screen. I can make it bigger, I can make it smaller, all while listening to this particular presentation. Now let me pause that and talk about some of the different ways that students can view these sources. We talked about picture-in-picture, which is what we have right now. Students can also watch it side by side, so that way it kind of makes it easier to see both of them back and forth. And you can also decide if I want the presentation to be full screen, or maybe I just want to see the instructor and not even look at the PowerPoint presentation. So those are some options as well. Up here on the top left-hand side, you'll notice there are thumbnails of each and every PowerPoint slide from your presentation. They act as chapters, if you will. And so when I click on one, it goes straight to that slide, and it will also go straight to where that place is in the video. So it's really just a quick reference for students to kind of go through and say, oh, you know what, I really wanted to see that image on, the cat or what have you. So it's a quick way to kind of jump back and forth. Now also, I'll kind of get out of here for a minute. Down here at the bottom, your typical play videos, but students do have the option. They can go a little faster or go a little slower. They can go full screen, and again, kind of the same typical options for a video player. So that's basically from the student side what that looks like. There's the closed captioning hasn't kicked in yet, so you don't see those just yet, but like for this one, for example, I can at least show you what the closed caption looks like. And again, this is automated. You don't have to go in and add closed captions. It's done for you automatically. But I do want to point out that it's not 100% correct. Case in point, I had said, so I'm going to press stop and I hope that I can save it in bed. Obviously, that's not what I said. I was trying to say save and embed, as in E-M-B-E-D. So captioning is not perfect, but it's a good start. So for right now, I want to transition into recording a new video screen capture with Kaltura Capture. So there are a couple different ways that you can get to Kaltura. One of which is you can go to your Blackboard institution page and you can click on My Media. All of the videos that you have ever created will be stored here. And you can also create videos from here. So if you're one of those instructors that just wants to knock them out one after the other, this may be your best route. Okay, you can get to Kaltura Capture from here. And you can also get to it from within your course using the mashup tool. So I'm going to go back to my course here. And let's say I probably want to put a video in my online classroom into my folder. Alright, so here's the steps. You build content, and we're going to go all the way under the Mashups tool, and we're going to click on Kaltura Media. This will kind of give you some of the videos that you've created in this course. Up at the top right, you'll notice Add New, and when you click on that, here are your options for including media. We've talked about Express Capture, that's just the webcam. Now we're going to look at Kaltura Capture. Now if you are a first-time user, Kaltura Capture does require you to install the application. You only have to do it once, and there is a download for Windows and there's one for Mac. So obviously I'm a Mac user, I went that route, but I've only installed it once, and you will too. So I'm going to open up Capture. There we go, and this looks familiar. You'll see this loading every time. Alright, so here is the recording tool, and this will pop up. So going from left to right, I want to walk through each one of these options just so we can get familiar. Obviously, we know what the big red button means. Here is your camera. Right now, depending on if you have an external one, it will show up here. I actually have my webcam blocked because I don't want it to be seen right now, but you can also click on it and it will say, no, I don't want a camera input. Next, you can record your screen. This will give you a preview of what your screen is. For those of you who have 2 monitors, it is extremely important that you select this drop-down menu so that you can tell Kaltura Capture which screen it's going to be recording from. Okay? And audio is pretty self-explanatory, but you know, if, like for example, you have a built-in microphone or even an external microphone, like I'm using a Snowball. For right now, my built-in microphone would be fine. So let's go ahead and click recording and see what happens. Now, if you decide that you want to record a PowerPoint presentation, I would suggest that you have that open ahead of time, because once you click record, it's going to give you a countdown. So let's go ahead and I'll go ahead and click record, and you see there's my countdown. And now I'm recording. Down here at the bottom you see my timeline, right? Well, I've decided, you know what? I don't think I want to stop, but I can pause. So this is a great option if, you know, maybe you want to switch between applications, or let's say, for example, you know, you're going through a coughing spell. This just gives you a minute to kind of collect yourself. And that gives me an opportunity to open up my screen. Okay? And I can open that up, and I can make that full screen, and I'm ready to go. So if I'm ready to resume, because I'm paused, go ahead and resume, and I can go full screen. Alright, so I'm still recording. More about these recording tools. Here's your microphone. And this little pencil right here, this is your edit button. This gives you a lot of different options to add some annotations. So for example, if you want to show a little arrow, hey, you know, this part right here is really, really important. Scratch that. You can use the little trash can and clear that. You do have other little arrows to where when you click, it will highlight that. There is a pencil. You can circle stuff. And you can change colors and make it bigger and smaller and so forth. If you don't want to erase, you just go ahead and click trash. Now, one other feature that instructors will ask a lot about is there a whiteboard? Yes, there is a whiteboard. When you click on that, here is your whiteboard for you to go in and you can type stuff, you can draw stuff, you know, whatever it is that you want to do. So yes, you do have a whiteboard that's available, and again, I'm recording my whole screen during all of this. Okay, so let's assume that I have gone through everything and I like what I see and I'm ready to stop. Now keep in mind, this is the pause. If you want to stop your recording, you click the little square. That's going to say, are you sure you want to stop this? You say, yep, I think I'm good. Now what that does is this brings up the save window and gives you an option to kind of rename it if you want to. I'll call it Capture Test Demo. And you want to save and upload. And what that does is that will save it and load it right into your My Media along with all your other videos. So it does give you kind of a message that says, hey, it's working. And obviously the longer your video, the longer it's going to take to download. So, which is another reason to keep your videos short and sweet. You know, viewership kind of declines sharply after about 9 minutes. And, you know, I always try to aim between 4 and 6 minutes. You can have 45 minutes worth of lecture, that's fine, but just chunk it up into smaller bites. So what this does, it will get to 100%, and then a message will show up that says, hey, it's been uploaded successfully. 66%. So for the purpose of this demo, I'm going to go ahead and close this out, and even though I've closed it out, it's still going to be uploading my video. I haven't stopped uploading or anything like that. So let me get out of this and go back to my Kaltura. And so once that's been loaded into my media, I'll get back to where I was here. Once it's been saved and uploaded, it will show up here when my internet decides to kick in. There we go. It will show up at the top. This was one that I did earlier today, but if you find that it's still not showing up, way up at the top right hand corner there's refresh. Sometimes that helps if you're impatient like me and want to try. Okay, now see, here it is. It's still in the process of loading, but assuming this is loaded, all you would do to load that into your course is you simply click on select, and we're creating it basically a mashup item, so I'll call it Capture Test Demo. You can always give it a description. This is what Capture looks like, folks. And you click submit. Again, everything that you create in the online classroom always comes to the bottom, and here it is. All right. So if you feel like you still need some simple editing, I would encourage you to check out our website for additional tutorials on the launch editor. And that allows you to trim the beginning and the end, and you can cut and splice and adjust the audio. Or you know what? You can just go with the flow and show your students that you're human and you make mistakes, just like you do in the classroom. I guarantee they'll appreciate seeing a more personal human side of their instructor. So go forth and record some great instructional videos.